Hello everybody, welcome back. So, we're back here again, aren't we? We're back here again with the same analysis from just a different day. It's like Groundhog Day every single day. So just like I said yesterday, at this very moment in time, 2 minutes past 9, this 4 hourly does look like it wants to continue to go up. So we did that yesterday. We were exactly the same scenario yesterday and we went up, okay? Pretty much the same scenario the day before and we went up. My expectation is that when we do go up, eventually we will cause and create a lower high and then just come back down again. But for the moment, this does look okay to continue to go up. So looking at the momentum, we're sort of meandering above the 0 point with not much conviction about that that momentum at all. Same thing with the RSI, really. Higher highs, higher lows, so suggests further upside. Obviously, we've got the Golden Cross, which has been retested. Quite messy, to be honest with you, but it has been retested a few times, and for the most part, held above the 50. And again, so the 4 hourly does say, all right, I want to try and move up. But, you know, one thing I'd always say as well is, you know, when you're using, my style of trading, as you obviously recognize, is about trend and momentum. And there is evidence of upwards momentum brewing here, so I would expect upside in the short term, just based on this 4 hourly. That's what the momentum suggests. But the trend, when it comes to all of our moving averages, kind of blending into one area. I mean, look at all these moving averages. Just look at them. They're basically all in the same place. We've got the 10 exponential is at 43,000. The 50 exponential is at 42,777, and all the other moving averages in between. So there's really not much going on at all as far as any kind of particular direction, which is why I think we're going up and down and up and down and basically up and down and up and down. Basically everyone's getting wrecked from all over the place because the volatility is tiny. There is a larger move brewing, no doubt, because you can't have such small ranges of volatility for prolonged periods of time without it ending in a larger move to the up or to the down, or, to be fair with you, possibly both. But I call it the proton pack, from Ghostbusters, when the streams, and that's basically what these moving averages are like. And when it gets like this and all the moving averages blend into one, it really does take away the vast majority of the edge. There is not really much edge going on this 4 hourly, and the 4 hourly is kind of what we need, because the daily is also doing the same thing as well. We've got the 10 exponential again at 42,723, and the Bollinger Band centre at 42,000, so still a tight range. We're above all moving averages, but they are blending into one because we've got all the others in between. The only two below us, and again, this is the thing to think about, really. If we lose 42,000, we've got a horizontal at 38, but the next two moving averages of any significance whatsoever, and still be bullish, to be honest with you, still maintain a bullish position on the chart, is all the way down here at 36,400 and 34,500. So significant drops possible, and to be fair, as I can see, quite likely, but that doesn't mean that we can't move up. Now, looking at this chart here, we've got a red portion of the cloud, so there's no pump signal going to be taking place anytime soon. There's also no short signal taking place anytime soon either. So even the daily is saying we're in the center of a range. We've got really no edge. In the short-term time frames, it does look like we want to move up with a target of just above 44,200, with potential target of up into the 46s. But, it's not very convincing either way. And, you can make some little trades like, I've still got my bot running. Yesterday I did a bit of a gamble on Monero. Just, I was talking about it on the live stream, saying I think it's worth a gamble, but, not with an enormous amount. I put in about 2.5% of my available cash into that, and luckily woke up with my orders filled. But, I mean, generally, the market is not convincing either way. There's as much risk as there is reward, if not there's more risk to reward. So, it's the same as I've been saying absolutely every single day. Now, one thing I would say, though, is that we were looking at a lot of altcoins last night, because that's what we do on the Patreon. If you're interested, you should join. And many of them were actually looking to do something like what Ethereum appears to be doing right now, which is to be breaking out of the Bollinger Band itself. So we've been stuck below here. I'll think of a better one to show you, but I thought I'll show you Ethereum first. Ethereum is above a 20 moving average. It's actually above all moving averages, and this is as of yesterday, effectively a breakout. Really, the retest could take place, and then that would see us move back up again. So we're talking 2,324. So really not much from where we are right now, and you base that around the 4 hourly. The 4 hourly would be 2,330 as well. So we are looking at a potential breakout happening on Ethereum. I think Atom was one that we were looking at last night that I can remember, but a lot of altcoins were doing the same thing. They were showing resistance at a Bollinger Band center on a daily, and yeah, so Atom, here we are. So we're pushing it as well. Atom's a good example actually, because what we've got here is a 20 moving average, 21, and a 200, all at this same area. So we're pushing like a major resistance on this one. This is a resistance that, if broken, we can start to reclaim areas lost, like $10.40, maybe up towards $11.20, and then the Holy Grail towards 12. That can happen. That definitely can happen. This isn't the only altcoin that suggests that. Lots of altcoins were offering the same sort of setups on the dailies as well. So that, I'm not going to call it an alt season. We've already had alt season, but this could be an alt rally, definitely. The move is pending just above these areas. This, like I say, Atom is not the only one. There was loads of them doing the same thing, all pushing this major resistance. And there's power in numbers. This is something that always seems to happen with altcoins. If they move together, it becomes like almost like a... Well, they all help each other by doing the same thing, and then before you know it, it becomes more evident that yes, we're going to have a bit of an extension on altcoin rallies with or without Bitcoin, and it could happen from here. But I'm not calling for new local highs, not really. I'm calling for a breakout trade, which really should be nipped in the bud at a variety of different sell orders on the way up. Not looking for huge, massive moonboy moves, because the overall vibe for me is one of traditional markets, so S&P, NASDAQ, just stocks in general, and Dixie changing their general behaviour. And we see that already on the Dixie on the daily. A bit of a down day yesterday. We seem to be getting bought up a little bit today, not really from any particular area on the daily. The 4 hourly, again, messy really, but I'm looking for continuation of the upside move on Dixie as we are breaking out now. And that likely corresponds to downside on stocks, so NASDAQ, S&P. But I just want to put it out there, I am not calling for crashing. That's not what I'm calling for. I'm not suggesting we're going to crash or dump or just none of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying end of a trend, consolidation, and then picked up from another area later on down the line to carry on going up. There's no reason for this to crash. I just want to stress this as well. Like, when I say that we're going to consolidate and I want to get out of a trade, that's because I feel like a top is in sight. Doesn't mean it's the top of all time. It just means that, okay, let's take the profit, let's get back in at a lower zone. And that has been the most appropriate thing to do across the board. At the moment, I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to crash. I'm not saying stocks are going to crash. I'm not saying anything like that. All these events that are happening, like the ETF, for instance, we've got the ETF. That's a bullish long-term scenario, but it was priced into the market, so we sold off from there. Same thing I think is going to happen to the halving. Halving is something that everyone's well aware of. Everyone knows when the halvings are going to happen, well into the future. They're priced in. When it happens, it's likely going to sell off. And if Fed lowers rates, we'll probably sell off too, because I think that's all been priced in as well. But these things are bullish long-term. They are bullish events. But because we know about them, and we lead into them, the market's already priced all that in. So when it actually comes round, it does sell off. It's very common to see that, because it's not something that's come out of the blue. Oh, suddenly there's a halving. I didn't know about that. Yeah, secret halving, boosh. That would be bullish immediately. Just like with XRP, SEC, in court case settled, boosh, big move up. No one knew that was definitely going to happen, and you see that reflected on the price action. It's the opposite with something that everyone knows is going to happen. Halving, we know it's happening. Sell off. ETF, we assumed it was going to happen, happened, sell off. Lowering the rates, sell off. But fast forward, a few months, a year, all of that is actually really bullish and should start to reflect on continuous upside trend. So don't misinterpret what I say when I'm saying that I think we're just going to consolidate. That's all I mean. I'm not talking about wake up one day, everything's 40% down. It can happen, but there's no reason for that to be present on the. We don't think that that's going to happen. There's nothing to suggest right now that we're going to wake up 40% lower than than we were yesterday. Do you know what I mean? So I just don't want people to think the wrong thing. Yes, I thought a top was in sight. Seemed like that is the case. And yes, I will incrementally monitor this chart as it goes down. But I really am not calling for a crash. So don't misinterpret what I say. I'm not talking crashing. I'm talking consolidation, chilling out, moving into another gear for when we finally start moving back up again to higher highs and higher highs after that. That's what I'm talking about. There is not any reason to assume a crash. But I think we're going to sit around in this area until the halving, which will be the next area. The next reason for us to sell off, when people realise, oh, it was an event that's already been priced in. So, okay, fair enough, let's sell this. And then the chart can just do what it wants to do for a little bit, find its low, and then get picked up from there. Right, I'll leave with you there, but thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.